Alright, tonight we're talking Halloween Ends, the night Michael Myers wears the pins. Our guest panel is going to be talking the movie opening, the story, and then we're going to talk about how the crew wrapped the movie up. To start, here's our summary of how Halloween Ends opens. Caution, contains spoilers.
Thank you. Thank you so much for watching my little boy.
Absolutely.
He's such a sweet child.
Hey, Bobby, wanna go cow tipping?
No, you doofus. Let's go up to the 9th floor and play PlayStation 5. Here. It's just inside of the room. You first. What a doofus. Check this out, what I got for you. Click. Hey kid, you better stop or I'll kill you. Oh, wait a minute.
So, let's start with our guest tonight. Tonight we have, up first, we have Adam Parker. Whoa! Yay! And next, we have Brittany. Though no, that isn't the girl from the Pepsi commercial. We have Brittany. And then we have, who is this? What's your name?
Man, the myth, the legend, Daniel Gates Parker.
The man, the myth, the legend. Yeah. And my beautiful wife, the lady who keeps Amazon in business, Kelly Parker.
Yes, man.
All right, so we're going to kick off tonight with asking our first question. You guys ready? Contestants up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. And Halloween Ends. Did it draw you in? Did it engage you? How was the start? We're going to start with you, Adam. What do you rate Halloween Ends?
I rated a 3. 1 out of 5. I rated a 3 due to it's not your typical intro to the Halloween movies, but it at least had my attention. Obviously, it's not starting with Michael like it normally does, but it's something that at least drew me in, just at least get me started into the movie. So I wouldn't rate it a 5 because obviously it's not the normal introduction. I wouldn't rate it a 1 because I just don't think it deserved a 1.
Right on.
Okay, I like it.
All right, Brittany.
I rated it a 2. I was quite bored in the beginning of the movie.
Right.
And it took a long time for me to get into it. So.
Yeah. So no thoughts whenever the kid fell? That didn't impact you?
It wasn't, not really, no. I didn't think it was.
Okay, hate to break it to y'all, both of y'all are wrong. It was a 4.
No.
Imagine you're there, you walk in, we're kids. These two walk in, and I'm kicking that door, and you fall off that stairwell, boom, you're dead.
They don't see that. They see the kid dead on the ground with the boy looking over him.
I know, blood everywhere. That's the best. That was the best part of the movie.
nothing to do
The
with
part that made you jump.
And nothing to do with
A
Michael.
little boy died in the very beginning, the worst way possible. It was the only part
I don't know that was the worst way
No.
possible.
My man got kicked
I bet a
by a
wood
door.
chipper would have been.
All I'm saying is this.
Tucker down.
It's a little boy, and my man boots that door. The kid has no idea it's coming. The parents don't either.
The kid did it for himself.
Okay. Anyway.
All right. So we're going to move on from this political debate.
Right on.
Kelly.
2 turds.
Dude, turds. My
It
gosh.
was a turd.
I agree.
2, actually.
Bye.
Well, first of all, I only seen a couple of Halloweens, but this one didn't have anything to do with Michael out of the gate. It was about new people. You don't even know these people. And why are you going to put him off the stairway, kill him? I just didn't think it was any good. And it's certainly not Halloween-y.
Alright, but you have to remember that the entire time you're thinking that it's going to relate to Michael in some way. You're thinking that he's going to come into this house before any of the booty takes place.
But he doesn't. So
Oh,
that
you
was the
thought
point.
Michael Myers was going to come into that house after that little boy died? Is that what
No,
you're
I'm talking about prior to the little boy dying. You have two people, kind of like what they did in the other movies.
All right, hold these thoughts because we're going to get a story in a minute, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and go. I gave it a
No.
1.5.
Oh, okay.
Okay, let me explain why. One, I don't know why this kid was living in the Capitol building. I mean, I don't know what happened with these big steps and the big stairwells and
Yeah.
all. Now, it's a little bit of a throwback to Halloween 4, where when they were locked up in the sheriff's house, right, there was a big staircase that Michael engaged one of the characters there, and they kind of struggled with a shotgun, right? So it was a little bit of a nod back to that. But to me, I saw it coming.
Yeah.
I saw it coming. I mean, you knew he was saying, "I'm going to kill you," and then he's kicking at the door. You know what's going to happen next. So I wasn't surprised to hear.
Yeah.
So it just wasn't that big of a deal. All right, moving on next. So now we're going to move from the intro. I think we had 1-4.
Yes.
So most people weren't sucked in the beginning, right?
No, just not.
But Gage, I got a hook in his mouth from the beginning, and then after. So I'm going to start with you, Gage, on the story. What did you think?
Big ol' 1.
One.
Whole storyline?
Yes, whole storyline. Let me explain why before you interrupt. So, it's called Halloween Ends. And my man Michael, if y'all remember the movie before this, my man Michael comes out and kills about 18 full-grown men of firefighters. That's what he did. In this movie, a dude with some glasses punks him down, beats him up, takes his mask off, and that was it. How do you go from being that strong to getting punked down by a big old nerdy dude?
I mean, he's been living it. How long has he been living the dream?
It don't matter. He was supposed to be a force of evil. What
He
force
been-
of evil gets beat up by?
Maybe that
Do you remember the last thing that happened to him? How he was beaten up by
Yes,
Lauren?
Adam,
At
do you
that
know what he
house?
did at that very
Shot in the
moment?
hand.
Do you know what he did? He got up and killed all them people and then killed that woman's daughter in his house that was looking out the window. I know what happened. Don't question my
I mean,
Halloween.
hey. You gotta think after. You don't know how long he was in that. You don't know how long
Here's
he
what
was
I'm
in
saying,
that
but
dream.
overall, it was a win because you make a movie about Michael Myers and it was really about the kid becoming in the darkness. And the kid died for 4 minutes and then wakes back up whenever Michael grabs the mask. It was stupid. Awful.
All right, so we got a 1. All right, so Kelly, I'm going to go to you next. You look like you want to talk about it.
I just want to say half a cent. Half a cent. The movie was horrible. The storyline. One, you're bringing in some new people. This guy and this girl having a love story made no sense for a horror film at all.
All right, so Miss Brittany.
I gave it a 3.
Wow,
Hey!
I'm impressed.
I have only seen this Halloween and then the Halloween before. I don't remember what it was called. So I'm not like experienced with the Halloween movies, but for the Halloween Ends, they ended it, and so I think that it ended peacefully. So I'm not mad about it.
What did you think about the middle? 'Cause
But-
we're in the middle.
No, it's okay. The overall story is what she's judging
Oh,
on.
I
So
got
that's
The
it.
fine.
whole
Yeah.
town. You're telling me this is realistic? The whole town follows these groups of people. They body surf him to a chipper. You're telling me the whole town?
That's the end.
That's stupid.
That's the end. We ain't got to the
It's
end.
the whole
Oh,
town.
Okay, Adam, you go ahead and do your
But
stuff.
that
So,
is
Adam,
all
your turn.
realistic.
Storyline, this is the story, right?
Just
Yeah.
the storyline.
I said
Right.
4.1.
Oh my god.
Okay? 4.1.
Gave it a 4.
Alright.
The very
No.
beginning.
He gave it a 4 in the beginning. I
Okay,
gave
keep
it a
going.
3.
But go ahead.
Explain
Yeah.
why you're wrong.
So,
You
I understand like them introducing. Yes, it did make sense with the younger boy and how he was wanting to portray Michael. All right, he was sick in the head. Everyone knows it. But going off what Brittany said, they did kill Michael. Everybody serving him over to the wood chipper. Laura actually doing the act of killing him, officially killing him, was something that needed
I
to
think
take
if
place.
it was the opposite and we had watched the Halloween Ends movie and they didn't kill him, I think people would be disappointed.
Yeah, it says Halloween Ends.
They ended him.
Hold on, did y'all read any of the reviews? Everyone hated the way it ended.
Hold on.
Hold on,
I don't-
we got
I don't-
to get it.
But also, let me just say this though. It's stupid all the way around. The whole movie is stupid. You have Michael in it for how many
3
minutes?
minutes.
3 minutes,
3
yeah,
minutes.
right. Really 3 minutes, so he didn't go in there and rip off the mask. That wasn't a couple minutes. Him going in there and killing some people. That wasn't a couple minutes. Him walking to Lori's house. Wasn't a couple minutes. I mean, he was in there for more than 3 minutes.
Seconds.
The whole movie, he was barely in it, and
No.
whenever he was in it, it was chump change. This kid was better.
This kid was not better. This kid wanted to
All right,
be
all
something.
right,
How
hold
about
on.
you, Danny Jones?
So me, I'm going for a 1.
Thank you.
Being a fan of the franchise, Michael's always been a force of evil. He's been a force, okay? So you didn't really know exactly what was driving him. And in many of the sequels, what they did is they tried to explain it. They tried to explain it with the Rune of Thorn. They tried to explain it with, Jamie Lloyd, his, niece, kind of getting into the picture. This one, the reason that I give the story a 1 is because the story didn't focus on Michael Myers. It was like a psychological study on this kid, right? Which I don't care about. I don't want to know anything about this kid. I came to see a Michael Myers movie. I wanted to see him and Laurie Strode go at it and
They did.
just in an epic battle. No, here's my problem. They spend all the time on that stuff, and then it's like the last 30 seconds you tried to pull it all
Wrap it
together
in.
by,
Bring
okay,
it
now
all
let's
in.
kill Michael off,
Yeah.
right? And the way they did it was so disrespectful to the character. You're talking about a man who's been shot, burned, blown up, and
Fought 18 firefighters.
yeah, I was going to say fought all the firefighters, but then they're able to take him out like real easy and then throw him into, this thing that they crunch up metal with, right? So how does that, to me, it just doesn't make sense. It was just a really bad way to kill off Michael. And it felt really ham-fisted, like they had to force it, like they'd gotten so far in and said, well, we gotta kill him, because it's called Halloween Ends, so we have to kill him. And I'm going to allude to this at the end, but I think H2O did a much better job of killing Michael off. So I know some of you people sitting at this table did not see Halloween H2O, but a much better job of killing Michael off. So we'll move on. All right, so for the ending,
Okay.
so a lot of times you go to see a movie, the movie's great, and then the ending sucks, right? It's just a big turd floating in the pool, and you got to figure out how to get it out. So thinking through Halloween Ends, how did Halloween Ends end? And Brittany, I'm going to start with you. Yep.
Wow. Okay.
Oh my god.
I gave it a 4.
Please enlighten
Why?
us.
Why?
I think that when I was going into the movie, not a extreme fan of the movies, I wanted to see him die. Like, I wanted to see Jamie Lee Curtis.
Lori.
Lori. I wanted to see Lori kill him, and that's what I got to see.
That's what you
So
did see. Exactly.
I'm satisfied. And I got to see how she got rid of him, like his whole body. And everyone in the town got to participate in it. So
Because they
I'm
were all
satisfied with
family.
it.
That's all good.
Because Halloween ends.
It's all just going to come back and glue itself together.
Well, we'll see.
All right, Gage, you look like you just got all kinds of stuff. You want
You probably didn't write
Okay, we'll
anything. You just wrote
I gave
words.
it a double deuce goose egg. Before I answer, does anyone know what a deuce is?
Yes.
It's a turd. That's what you drop it. That's what it was. Double deuce. 2 turds coming out 0. Because one, the way he died was stupid. You're telling me the last 30 seconds he comes up in there and she just stabs him a couple of times, and then the granddaughter shows up and they just slit his wrist,
Okay.
and then the whole town they take him down to the chipper thing.
Tonight we do.
Yeah. And then they body surf him. You're telling me there were 4-year-old kids walking with them. You're telling me all these parents would be like, "Come on, get us."
Let's get rid of him.
No, we're not trick or treating tonight.
People in the old West used to take their kids to a hanging, man. That was a chicken
But what
dinner.
I'm saying is, they body surfed my man, and then that's how we died. That's the worst way you could kill that man. You're telling me she was going to kill him that way whenever 18 grown men going to kill him with like machinery?
All right, so moving on next. Adam, let's
Okay.
let you reply.
I said 3.5. All right. So the ending, and I think the ending started whenever Corey comes in dressed as Michael, and everyone thinks that Lori is obviously she's drinking again. She has the pistol on the table, and everyone thinks that she's gonna kill herself because she is literally just deranged from Michael. All right, and he comes up and she shoots. No one knows what she shoots until he opens the door and you see the pumpkin on the ground. All right, that's where the ending for me starts, because that's where it's like she has now thought that he's coming to kill her, which then she takes him out.
Yeah.
All right, Michael comes into the house, grabs the mask, which is what everyone knows he has on. That's what he wears. Okay, the fight scene takes place then. It's not, oh, he's just laying on the table and she cuts his wrist. No, there's a whole fight scene that happens.
Can you describe the whole fight scene?
Okay, ready? You sure you want to do this?
Are we asking for kickback kick or do
it? It's not like she doesn't just defend her. It's like he doesn't do anything. He actually fights back. And she uses other things, a knife, which is what his murder weapon was, on him.
Yeah. He kind of fought back like he didn't take his Geritol that day.
Yeah.
Oh, man, missing freaking 3 fingers. I mean, come on.
Adam, whenever you saw her shoot the pistol, did you think she killed herself, or did you think
No, I knew she didn't kill herself, but she did that in order for whoever she knew was in the house to come into the door. And
Whether it was him or whoever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then she shot
That
her.
person's a moron, because everyone in the movie theater.
Are you trying to tell me that a female baited somebody?
Oh, she definitely did bait him.
All right, moving on.
All right, so I guess Kelly, you're up next.
Yeah, 2. That's a 2.
All right, that's better than Deuce 0.
You do have good points, though. I mean, but it was still a crappy ending. I mean, you know, a 2 is not that good. I appreciate your 4, though. So, yeah, because you'd only seen that movie.
Yeah.
But I think all together at the end, it was rushed. All of a sudden, you got all these. Where'd that come from? How come everybody knew?
Yeah, it was
Did they
good.
have a blow for you?
I'm going with a 1 again. Okay, and here's why: because this ending has been done before, and it's been done before better. You know that at the end of H2O, she grabs his body from the police, takes it off in a van. He comes up, grabs her. The van goes off the side of a cliff, and then they're both thrown. But he's thrown up against a branch, like a big tree that's down, and the van just crashes right into him. And then she comes up, takes the mask off, and chops his head off. Vengeance, right? You know what I'm saying? For all that he had done to her over those years, she was able to take that back. This tried to be more dramatic, more cinematic, better music, that kind of thing. But it just didn't ring true for me. It just felt like it was very forced. So, you know, I respect and appreciate everybody's opinions, because that's what's cool about this, right? Is that you guys, especially somebody who's not necessarily a fan of the franchise, you've been able to watch it. You got what you wanted to out of it. That's a good thing, right? Yeah. If you've been along for the ride, it's kind of like you know the history, and sometimes that can jade you, you know? Like, for example, we were watching a version of Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers. And there were 2 different versions. The version I watched with your mom was a completely different version from the one that I saw. In a sense, like Jamie Lloyd was killed off a different way, right? And the ending was completely different with Donald Pleasance, who, you know, if you follow the series, he was a doctor. He was as big as Michael was as a character in the series. So, but that's why I'm my 1. All right, we're going to take a real quick break, and we'll be back. And we're going to talk about some of our favorites and some of our least favorite things. All right, so we're back, and now we're going to go ahead and ask a couple of questions just about the experience. And that's the important thing, because PARTAY Reviews is really not about directors, it's not about actors, it's not about trying to psychoanalyze the movie. It's really about what was your experience of the movie. Okay, and we want to stay pop culture on that. So now when we think about the characters that were in the movie, forget who was playing the character. Who was your favorite character? All right.
I don't know.
All right, now I'm going to go first this time.
All
If y'all don't mind. My favorite character was the mask. Because that's the only part, when I saw the mask, that was the only part of the movie I really liked. Whenever I got to see a piece of Michael, right? Yeah. But then it was so pitiful, it was like sad. So I'll just hold on to my mask. All right?
Why, it's going to be 2 answers.
Okay.
All
right, so you go ahead,
Deputy
Mom.
Frank.
All he tried doing was get more porn. What are you doing this movie?
So here's the thing:
He
Deputy
lived on his
Frank
life.
is consistent
Exactly.
when he's playing
Yes.
in the movie. He's the same, but he can kind of lead.
Deputy
too.
Frank
He-
went to the asteroid in Armageddon, man.
This movie's awful.
Sorry.
That's not in this movie, but he did do that. But anyways, Deputy Frank, I think he was brought in. He had enough time in the movie to kind of play his part in it. There was no rushing with him, and he's just chill. Right, chill.
Yeah, he is chill.
All right, you go ahead.
The little boy who died. The reason why he is my favorite character in this movie is because he started it off. The boy died in the most traumatic way you could ever imagine. You see me
That is not
falling like that, and all you hear is my neck snap, and you see a puddle.
They didn't hear any of that.
No, but what I'm saying
walk
is, you
in
know
on
how
it.
crazy that is? He's who made the movie Spark at the very beginning.
All right.
Oh,
Now, I will agree with you.
Babysitter.
That was probably the most impactful scene. Now, I felt it coming, but for folks who kind of wouldn't, I would see where that could be. It could be either that was cool or that was disturbing, right? I
But
could
it
see
also
it.
set up like why Corey was doing everything throughout the whole movie. That was one
Exactly.
scene set Corey up for the rest of the movie.
Yeah,
So there was a
Corey should have just moved away.
He
So
killed a
what-
kid.
He didn't kill him on
He doesn't.
purpose.
I know, did I say that?
No.
I'm saying, but this
No, I
little boy's the
didn't say
reason why the
Ah.
movie Spark.
All right, so we're just going round table now.
Okay.
So let's go with Brittany.
I played it safe with not being such a fan of the franchise, so I put Laurie.
Nah,
I loved the ending, so I think the fact that she was able to get her vengeance was awesome for me. I don't want y'all to kick me out of the group, but I did like Corey because I loved. I think that he was a good actor for he played his role well. Even if his role sucked, he played it well. So
He played a.
that's all I say.
I'll give you that.
but there you go. It's opinion.
Yeah.
It's opinion.
All right, I'm gonna say Lori.
Oh.
All right, the reason I'm saying Lori is because she was consistent with her whole act, everything that she did. All right, she left the last movie.
She's been doing it since the 70s.
Exactly, so she
Yeah,
should be good at it.
real good.
All right, but you saw a different side of her this time. She was writing books. She was living a different life. She still had that back mind of being terrified of Michael, but she was putting it all on paper. And then, obviously, whenever Corey comes into the situation, she starts seeing Michael in Corey just by how he acts. All right, trying to take care of Allison, because obviously her mama didn't do as well. So I mean, it's like everything that Lori did for her mom or for her daughter, she was doing for Allison, trying to protect her and show her to think into people differently than just seeing their outward image.
How well did that work? Because she knew he killed people, and she still.
Who?
Corey.
Allison knew that Corey killed.
But when did she find that out?
He tells her after he kills the hobo dude. He says, "I killed someone," and she said,
She's
Okay,
thinking,
and then
no, she's thinking of the little
She
boy.
was thinking of the little boy.
Right.
The little boy who died.
Thinking about the little. That is true.
Gage, you know it
It's
is.
okay to be wrong.
Or maybe she's just prejudiced against
"I
hobos.
don't know. She knew that he killed people."
But she
Person.
started off her name back and
Right.
then.
All right, so this time, least favorite character. So this time we're going to start with Kelly.
Corey. It was awful. I felt like he didn't bring it. I just felt he was weak in the character itself. I didn't see anything. First of all, I never seen him in anything else anyways. I don't know if he was, but I just didn't think he brought, I think a different person could have brought a better job at this particular role, but I just thought it was a stupid character. I mean, so now he's going to be Michael. Was that the point of this? I don't
He's
understand.
dead.
No, he
died. He died.
Yeah,
so
no,
he
he
stabbed himself in the
Well, they can bring it back.
Michael died several times, so they may just change the name to Corey.
All right.
Oh my gosh.
All right, so this time I'm going to jump over, and so you have obviously a strong opinion. Who do you think?
All right, I do think Corey is one of the least favorite characters for me, but I also think that Allison's female friend that she had at the, I don't know if she worked at the hospital. What
Are
was
you
it?
talking about the nurse who got the promotion?
Yes,
Um,
yes, because I personally think that there was
yeah,
no, there was no need for her to be in
Yeah,
this
that's
situation.
true,
That,
yeah.
that was just somebody she worked with. I mean, come on, really?
No, she took Allison's promotion by
Who
sleeping with
cares?
the boss.
Oh,
So
who
my man Corey
cares?
fought for. and killed them both.
Who cares? Corey came into this situation for no reason.
So does
okay?
that make Corey a hero?
No,
Yeah.
Corey's not a hero. Corey's a psychopath.
But Corey, I don't think that he should have never been the movie. I don't think there should have been a story
I
about
agree.
him. I think that there should.
But I think that's kind of
Yeah.
the basis, the underpinning of all this, right?
Okay.
All right. So we're gonna go to Brittany.
Based off just this movie,
Right.
I think Allison was the worst character. I think the love story between her and Corey was so pointless, and
Weird.
I hated it.
Yeah.
But then also, Lori expressed to her that she felt something weird with Corey.
Like she did with
And-
her daughter.
Yeah,
She
and
went missing.
Allison still didn't believe her. Continue going, and if that was me, I would have ended it right there. So I feel like she was just stupid for staying with him because she was warned.
All right.
Amen.
Oh,
Good job.
There you go, Gage.
Okay. Oh,
Step in. Don't take 5 hours.
First, let me take this. And then to you, Thursday. Y'all are all wrong. The worst character was Michael. And let me explain why. He was barely in the movie. He got pumped down by Corey. I just need everyone to understand that. Corey comes in there after just getting strangled by this man and terrified. Then the very next time he goes back there, or a couple of times later, he goes over there, shoves Michael down, punches him in the face, and takes the mask from Michael.
And puts it on
Yeah,
himself.
puts it on. And Michael just got punked. One, and then the way he died.
All right.
Punked.
Let me
All
ask
right,
this.
so hold on, because I'm going to back up with that.
I was
had
gonna say
Corey
both. I was
and
gonna
Michael.
say both while
So
one.
Corey, because one, I don't think he brought it either. I think he brought it at the beginning, but then as it went on and he became the murderer, I think it just went off the rails, right? I mean, he was still whiny.
Yeah.
It's like, how can you be whiny and be killing people?
Yeah, right.
You can't be scary. Keep in mind, this is not supposed to mimic real life. This is a movie, right? And it's supposed to be a movie that delivers something for you, right? I mean, if I want to watch real life, I'll move up to Chicago and watch the streets out there on the south side, right? I mean, that's kind of the thing.
Any side.
Yeah. But you know what I mean? I mean, it's like I don't want to watch real. I want to watch a movie, and I don't think Corey brought it. And I agree. I think Michael, this was the worst Michael of any movie ever, and that's including Rob Zombie's. And I'll cover that at the end, but including Rob Zombie's Michael. I just think this was the worst Michael, and I think it was really sad.
It was.
And I
That
think
was
it almost requires a reboot now to save face.
Yeah.
I really do. All right, so now we're going to move into the next question. Last set of questions. We're going to talk about what's your favorite scene and what's your least favorite scene. So go ahead and jot down your favorite and least favorite scenes. All right, we're back with the favorite scene. We're going to start, Brittany, with you for your favorite scene. There you go.
I do not have a favorite scene. I can't even think of one that stood out, so I have no clue.
Not even the last one?
I mean, the last one was good, but I feel like
Maybe that's your favorite.
the last one is my favorite.
All right, go ahead.
I said the mask on the table at the very end. All right, the whole storyline is about this mask. All right, forget the individual who is forget Michael. It's the person behind the mask. Whoever's wearing the mask is typically the individual killing. So there are masks remaining on the table in Lori's house, just like everyone says. It's going to reappear as a different Michael. I don't think that this Michael is the actual killer. I think that there's something in the mask that possibly makes somebody feel like they can kill somebody. It's almost like it being possessed. Alright, so that's what I think.
All right, so now I got to step in here because there's two things wrong with that argument. I mean, I get the mask.
Go
Can I
ahead.
say why? I think someone picked the mask up.
No one picked it up.
No. The point being that when Michael first started killing, he wasn't wearing that mask.
That's true.
That was a mask that he picked up later. And
But
just
he
in
was
case,
wearing a
hold on.
mask when he killed his sister.
No, he wasn't. Not in the beginning.
Not in the very.
Not in the
he was.
first one.
Yeah,
He was wearing a mask, but not that mask.
Okay, yeah, but he was wearing a mask.
Yeah, but he was wearing a Halloween mask, but not that mask.
Hey.
But just in case, because I know a lot of people out in YouTube land, you guys are going to know this, but that mask is actually a mask of William Shatner. You know who that is?
No.
The guy who was played Captain Kirk.
Yes, it
On
does
Star
those
Trek?
commercials
Yeah.
for-
Yep. Did you ever see this Congeniality? He was the guy, the older guy that was in there. He was the guy that was in there. Is one of the guys who ran the thing, right? The pageant. But that was a mask of him that whenever John Carpenter made the first film, he had bought it and painted it white. right? Or they had. I don't know if that
Is
is
it
the same
really
physically.
his face under
Yeah,
the
if you look
hat?
at it, you'll notice that's William Shatner. It's a mask of William Shatner. That was actually, they just modified it and did things to it to make it look scary. All right, so who hasn't gone? You?
I'm gonna hate me.
Okay, then let's see.
Very
My
beginning.
favorite scene was the little boy dying. It really was, my man. The
That's your
way
favorite scene.
I'm saying,
I failed you somewhere.
no, because I'm saying this. Like it legit, like I said, made you jump for a second. You knew it was coming, but the way that he kicked that door finally, and like that happened, I just remember me and Zach and all this, we all jumped and like just said a word, and I was just, oh gosh, so I'm gonna do this.
Oh gosh.
No,
Shoot.
no.
That
we said-
wasn't the
yeah,
word.
we said a
Oh,
word.
you said it.
We're like, oh. But like, it was just crazy.
So favorite scene, Mom?
None.
None.
I wouldn't watch this 2 times. So
I'm not
none. I had no
watching it.
favorite.
So, and I'm going to make this easy, quick. Mine was the opening too. I mean, to me, it wasn't that it was even my favorite scene. It was just the most impactful to me. The ending scene, once again, you're looking at it from through a different set of lenses. For me, it's like, look, this has been done before. It's been done better, and this feels really, like I said, hand-fisted is kind of the term I would use because it just felt forced.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of like a lot of movies where you see they do really good and they get up to the last 10 minutes and it's like, okay, how are we going to end this?
Right. The rush.
and that's what it felt like to me. So, least favorite scene. All right, Mama's going first this time.
Alright, I originally had all, but that's kind of harsh. So instead, Allison and Corey riding around on the motorcycle.
That was a little stupid.
That was stupid.
I mean,
What's pointless?
what was the point? Again,
Well, I felt like we were about to get into a rom-com.
Yeah, weird.
What do you call it? A deranged
Yeah,
rom-com.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dysfunctional rom-com. All right, Miss Brittany.
I put the homeless man outside of the gutter when he was killed. Because I felt bad for him when Michael killed him outside.
But that
And I
that's
thought it was
ridiculous.
kind of
That
pointless.
made no sense. Like he
Like, I
sees him get carried in there. Oh yeah.
No, I agree. No,
Yeah.
keep going.
Oh jeez. that's just-
Well, I just wonder why he didn't whip out his dentures and try to fight back.
No, I just
I
didn't
don't think he had
I
it.
just didn't think it was worth
Yeah,
it.
he pulls him in there, and then he sees Corey and says, "Why did he let you out?" I'm Michael Myers. Like, one, we all know you're not. You're a homeless guy.
Yeah.
And then he
I
stabs him
remember
because he
Yeah.
tried killing Corey for no reason.
Yeah.
It was stupid.
Yeah, maybe he was going to eat it.
Good point.
Oh,
Well, because in earlier ones he ate dogs.
yeah. Oh.
That is right.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think got tired of dog meat.
He's like, man, I'm not from Vietnam. I don't want no dog.
outside. He was mad.
So wrong.
It's a delicacy there. All right, so
Okay, I got 2. I said the killing scene of the high school kid / Corey's death. The reason why the killing scene with the high school kids, that scene where the girl's head
Yeah.
It's like a pumpkin.
explodes.
But see, that's
like-
what Michael used to do.
Okay, boy, don't take my thunder. So, the reason why is because, like you just said, it's happened before. Michael did it to the doctor, and then in the last movie, that crazy guy jumps out the window, his head explodes. They tried doing it again. The first one was the only good one.
Yeah.
And then just how they all died was stupid. Like, Corey's dad shot one of them.
Yeah.
And no, the high school kid shot Corey's dad out there. Yeah. And then Corey's death. He kills himself. He's dead for around 4 or 5 minutes, y'all. My man Michael comes and grabs the mask. He somehow breathes with a big old
Oh, that's
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
grabs the mask and tries to fight him off.
true. Yeah, that is true.
And last point, did y'all see that the black woman survived from the one who he
yeah. I was actually,
that was.
but actually, I was glad to see that she survived. What I thought was stupid was why the daughter was coming and blaming Lori.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, man. That's all mirroring things that are going on.
But
in the
that was
landscape
just the
right
last
now.
one. It was stupid.
All right.
Alright, so my least favorite scene was Corey killing the doctor. Right?
Oh,
It was
yeah.
a cool scene, and he had him over the bag, and he was actually out there killing him. What was the reasoning of this, alright? Go ahead. What is your...
He passed up on Allison because the other girl was sleeping with him for that promotion. Who do you think he's gonna go with? The hottie sleeping with him or the hottie not?
Listen, he killed him for no reason, alright? But Allison and
He
him were
loved
not-
Allison.
He was not, they were not together yet.
I think that was also his first dip
That was his
into
first
killing
dip
people
into
on
killing
his own.
somebody, yeah. He broke into this man's house and stabbed him with the bag over his head.
Okay, prior to that, I know he accidentally killed
And then
him.
Michael
He
comes in
stabbed
there and
a
kills her.
homeless dude.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and go and say the ending was my least favorite scene. Once again, as I've stated before, it's been done better. It's been done in a more impactful way, and this felt almost like so ham-fisted it was disrespectful. Now, what I'm going to say in closing is this.
Okay, I'm going to close this out with my thoughts about the Halloween franchise overall and where Halloween Ends fits into that. So Halloween 1, a classic, a must-see if you haven't seen it for Halloween fans. And when I say Halloween fans, I mean fans of the holiday Halloween. Halloween 2, I would say, is a bit of a struggle for me because there's a lot of slow pacing. If you could take the first 15 minutes and the last 15 minutes and smash it together and add it to Halloween, the beginning of Halloween 4, I think it'd be much better. Halloween 3 is a complete standalone. One of my favorites, but completely standalone, has nothing to do with Michael Myers. Halloween 4, we get the introduction of Jamie Lloyd, and there's a lot going on in Halloween 4. Some interesting things that happen there. There's cheese throughout all of this, but some of these do much better in bringing the Michael Myers story, to the public. So I would say Halloween 4. Halloween 5, a little bit of a step down. Definitely, there were some things in there. Tina. For those who've seen it, Tina, the comedic cops, there's just things in there that kind of weigh it down, but still, relatively solid entry into the franchise. And then you have Halloween 6, which actually is the introduction of Paul Rudd. Some really cool stuff that goes on in there. Definitely a very 90s kind of vibe going on, and different versions. According to which version you see, there's ones where Jamie Lloyd actually meets her demise in a very different manner. And then there's, kind of different endings there. And then we have H2O. H2O, to me, a very solid entry. One of my favorites. As a matter of fact, it's one of the ones, let's just say this. H2O got the killing of Michael Myers off at the end right. And in my opinion, still reigns as the movie that ended it very, very well. And then we go into Rob Zombie's. Excuse me. Let me back up. We go into Resurrection. But we go into Rob Zombie, and Rob Zombie's take on this was more of Halloween, the Rise of Sasquatch. We get this huge, lumbering kind of villain in it. Doesn't really do anything for me. Far more aggressive than the original Halloween trilogy, so not kind of my thing. Some people I know dig it, and that's cool, respect, but just not my thing. Halloween 2 by Rob Zombie is like Sasquatch on acid, so I didn't like the first one, definitely wouldn't like the second one. The second one's really off the rails for me. And then we get into this latest trilogy, Halloween 2018, which to me had a lot of promise, a lot of good cinematography, some moments that leave you with visuals that you kind of think about afterwards, and really good stuff there. The second movie, Halloween Kills, kind of picks up from there and takes that and runs with it for about the first third of the movie, and then it goes off the rails for me. It's just, it feels more like a social commentary, which I don't go to the movies to watch social commentary. I have my beliefs. I see the news. I see what goes on in the world every day. I don't need somebody telling me how I should think about things. So, stay focused on entertainment. And then obviously here with Ends, this is like a psychological study, which has nothing to do with Michael Myers. Shouldn't even be called a Halloween movie, other than they just put Michael in there long enough to make it relevant to the title. But what a disrespect to the character overall. To me, this movie is not just a fail, it's almost like it was sabotaged. It just feels very intentional to me. I don't know that there's any way that you could ever explain away the fact that you don't have very much Michael Myers in here. We're focused on this dysfunctional Twilight love relationship between Allison and Corey, which makes no sense. And they all die. Well, Corey dies in the end, so it wasn't going anywhere. So it wasn't like it was building up to something else. To me, it's just a train wreck. A train wreck that never should have been. This isn't a bad Halloween movie. It's not really even a Halloween movie, in my opinion. So that's where we're going to leave it. You guys take care, and we'll see you next time on PARTAY Screens. Bye.